Hey y'all, Eric here. Thank you so much for joining me today on another video. I would like to ask that you please like and subscribe. Definitely building on subscribers lately and getting some great traction on some of my other videos. Really appreciate everyone that's watching and engaging with my content. Today, what we're going to talk about is number one, why did I get rid of my tall fescue? And number two, why did I choose St. Augustine Palmetto? We moved into this house in 2018, just northwest of Charlotte, North Carolina. The yard was a tall fescue lawn with a little bit of that wild Bermuda mixed in, which is just a tear. But I tried to work with the tall fescue as best I could. All my neighbors were overseeding in the fall, some of them overseeding in the spring. And I noticed there was just a lot of work, a lot of water going into the lawns, and really the tall fescue only looked good for about a month and a half in the spring and a month and a half in the fall, maybe. The rest of the time, once we broke out of spring into the summer, once temperatures got above 85 degrees, the tall fescue just goes dormant and doesn't look very good. And that starts pretty quickly here in the Piedmont area of North Carolina. So this happened to me for 2 years, and I'm sitting here with about 6 months of a lawn that I'm just not proud of at all, or more. I'm looking at the Bermuda. The Bermuda really doesn't interest me much either, mainly because it looks like that's also a lot of work, and really it goes dormant quickly, and it seems to come out of dormancy slowly. All this is rattling around in my head. I know I want to get rid of the tall fescue, but I don't know what I want to replace it with. And then I go over to my friend's house just south of me, about 10 minutes south. And I show up to his house one day just to stop by. And I noticed his lawn was incredible. And I had to ask, I said, what kind of grass is this? I've never seen it before. And he said, it's St. Augustine. Well, they don't grow St. Augustine in this area, because really in the Charlotte area, it's a lot of fescue with a peppering of Bermuda, some zoysia, but not very much at all. That got me spinning. I start looking around on YouTube, find some of the great YouTubers that are putting out content right now, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to dig into this St. Augustine. So that started my journey, really teaching myself a lot about the grass. Am I able to grow it here? How will it perform, etc. Well, what I learned is that the grass my buddy was using is an old strain, dates back all the way to 1947, back in Charleston, that he actually just took sprigs of in Charleston and brought to his house and planted them 20 some odd years ago. And it ended up taking over his whole property. His whole property is about 3/4 acre. So I said, okay, well, that's a variety that really isn't that cold tolerant, and it's doing well in my area. Well, watching some of the greats like Alan Hain and some others on YouTube talk about St. Augustine Palmetto, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to look into that a little more, because I heard that it was a little more cold tolerant. So in looking at my area, really, our average low here is about 49, 50 degrees, and our average high is about mid 70s, 76, when really we don't get above 96 very often, and we really don't get below 33 very often, maybe 10 days out of the year. About 2 or 3 days out of the year, we may get 12 to 15 degree weather, which isn't too bad as long as it's not sustained. So in looking at the St. Augustine Palmetto, I had to do some digging to find some of this stuff, and I'll post it here so you can take a look at it while I'm talking about it. There are some studies that were done in the Charleston area and other parts of North Carolina that Palmetto St. Augustine has actually been known to survive 5 degree weather, sustained 5 degree weather, which we don't really see here at all. Our average snowfall here in the Charlotte area is about 2.3 inches a year, so we really don't get a freeze. While all this was going on, the Texas freeze took place, and there was a lot of damage done, and that was some below freezing weather. And if you do some research, there's plenty of YouTubers that were able to bring their St. Augustine back from that freezing temperature. So that boosted my confidence to move forward with the St. Augustine Palmetto. I did look at the Raleigh St. Augustine, not as cold tolerant. So really what got me with the St. Augustine Palmetto is cold tolerance, drought tolerance, shade tolerance, those three. I do have shady areas of my lawn on both sides, front and back. I have gotten rid of a few trees, which opens it up a little bit more, but there are some shady spots in my yard. Drought tolerance, Palmetto is more drought tolerant as well. It has a deep root system, which is great also because I do have some areas that are a little steeper and we do have a lot of clay, so erosion can happen. So having that deep root system is going to help with that as well. The cold tolerance we discussed. So it just seemed like the right fit for me. Now, you've seen the results. I'll put a link to the video of the results from the plug grow, the 6-month results. But I'm walking around my neighborhood now. The Bermuda is all the way dormant. It looks like straw. And even the fescue, we're seeing 30-degree weather right now. Some in the high 20s in the evening. Highs in 55 or so. I think it was 57 today. And even the fescue here is starting to look like it wants to go dormant. So my grass right now looks great. So I believe I made the right decision. Time will tell. But again, my buddy has had that grass in his lawn for over 25 years. So it's interesting why folks in my area still choose fescue. The amount of work, the amount of product you have to put on fescue. I mean, just to overseed and to plug a lawn, you're looking at $300 a year. That's just to overseed and to plug. I'm a DIYer, so I would do it myself, but most people don't have that luxury. So that's why I got rid of my tall fescue. Summer grass, I think, is the way to go in this area. If you're in the transition zone, look at your average temperatures, look at your average snowfall, look at how many freezes you have per year. And if you can switch to a summer grass, in my experience, grasses like fescue, you're really only getting a couple months of good solid grass. Grass that you want to bring your neighbors over and say, hey, check this out. Or you might take pictures of to send your buddy. With the summer grasses, specifically Palmetto St. Augustine, in my experience, has been just a joy to work with thus far. Again, it's our first year, so it is winter. It is a little chilly outside, so did an indoor video for you and wanted to go through my thought process as to why I chose this grass. If you have any comments, please leave them below. If you have experience in this area with St. Augustine, please leave them below. Really look forward to engaging with y'all and putting together another video next week. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.